Yo, Spectral, when it comes to dubstep, how would you overcome of having an idea and having a hard time getting it down when making a drop? Any advice of what can help? Well, let's say you have an idea of what exactly you want your drop to sound like in your head. You want to go like, then the best way to go about it would not be to focus like into the detailed sound design yet. The best way would just be like get your growl or whatever that you want together and just create the pattern, get a growl that goes and then make a quick like bass, just like pitched up, nothing special, just, you know, simple stuff, just the presets, you know, whatever, just to get those ideas down. Get the pattern of the drop laid out first with those simple presets. It'll probably sound like crap because you haven't put any like time or detail into it. But once you have that down, then you can go about like the detailed sound design, you know, getting exactly the right sound you want, but the idea for the pattern that you have in your head is already down. So that's down and it's saved so you won't forget it. If we have our own presets or related things we'd like to share, are we allowed to submit tutorial material for you to spread? I spend a lot of time making presets and things, and I've always wanted to try and push my findings out there, if that makes sense. Well, I'm sorry, you cannot submit tutorial material. However, you can go onto my Facebook group and you can definitely, if you have like, you know, free presets or like samples or whatever, you can definitely go and like give it out through there. There's a lot of people in that group, and you can do that kind of thing. I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as you're not trying to sell something on there. I don't want it to be like an advertisement or like self-promotional thing. If you're giving out free stuff, sure, by all means, you know, submit a post to a link or something in the group. That's perfectly fine. We should do a collaboration series. Mate, we're already doing a collaboration. Like, that's what Crispy Chicken is on the desktop. If you want that to be a collaboration series, then that can become, I mean, we've kind of just started. So the answer to that question is sure, if you want to. I mean, hi, does that work? Just hi? Sorted. Use Harmor more. If you don't have it, try to get it. It's 110% worth it if you actually know how to use it. Yes, Harmor is an amazing plugin. It's super great. I've done a lot with Harmor and I know a good deal about it. However, I do not own it yet. I am looking into owning it. Once I do buy it and I own the full version and I can like save presets and stuff like that, then you can definitely be looking out for some Harmor tutorials in the future. And most of it, I want it to kind of stick to Serum, because that's what most people have and that's what most people like to see. And honestly, Serum is still my favorite plugin. It's still like the best plugin I've ever laid hands on, in my opinion. But Harmor is definitely one of the best plugins out there, and I'm going to try to get it very soon. Can you make some tutorial like Mija's style? Mija, I don't know how that's said. I don't know who that is. So maybe in the future, I don't know. I'd have to check out their music and see if I can kind of pin it down. If you could collab with anyone, who would it be and why? Most of y'all who know me know that my favorite artist is Virtual Riot. And you're probably expecting me to say Virtual Riot here. However, I am not going to say that because I have seen many, like there's so many Virtual Riot live streams. I've seen so much of him making music. I've learned so much from him. And I feel like everything I would do, it would just be like him making a track and me going like, oh yeah, that's awesome, and throwing in like a little bit here, and then him changing that and making it better. I don't feel like I could have enough to put out, like enough part of my music to put out and really make an impact on that collaboration, if that makes sense. So for this one, I'm probably gonna have to say Phase One. Phase One is one of my favorite artists. He's amazing. He has an awesome style, and I feel like my style and his style is different enough that we could actually gain something from collabing with each other. I really want to learn from him and see what kind of, you know, techniques and things that he uses. So Phase One is my answer to that. Awesome artist. Up for a collab, I haven't released anything, but I've been building my skill for years now producing. This is for the comment reading video. Thank you for the comment. The answer to that question is maybe. Like, I'd probably have to hear some of your music first and not like see if you're like good enough or anything, but just to see that you can kind of like have a handle on FL Studio, you know, sound design and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be, you know, we could both have something to contribute to a collab. And also, I don't know if like collabing right now for me is a little bit confusing because I'm on a very tight schedule trying to, you know, I'm in high school. I'm trying to produce music, which normally just those two together take up a lot of time. I'm doing extracurricular activities. I've got audio tech classes. I'm doing archery, and I'm trying to do YouTube on top of all of that. So I really don't have a lot of time for pretty much anything else at this point. So later, possibly, it just depends. Tips for young EDM producers to get better easily and without taking a lot of time. This could help lots of people. Now this is the question that every like young producer ever has asked, like, is there a way to get good fast? And the answer to that question is no. You see, in the music industry, there's so much about fake it till you make it, and that's basically sounding as professional as possible until you become a professional. And I don't really believe in that very much. However, there is that kind of aspect in really any kind of profession. I guess a tip to get good easily is to use a bunch of presets and samples that good artists have already made. I do not recommend that. I do not prefer to do that. I do not think that that is genuine to your real style. I think the best way to go about producing music is just go in, start learning and making music just for the fun of it. I wouldn't go about it with the mindset of, okay, I gotta get big in this industry, I gotta get noticed. That's not really the way you should go about it. The way you should go about it, this is what I heard from Barely Live, this is the way they did it. That's the way I'm doing it right now, really, is that just go about it for fun. Like, even if you don't think you can do this as a profession, do it because you want to. And eventually, if you really, really want to and love it, you'll get to the point where your music will get really, really good and people will start noticing you and you will get attention if you keep it up. So really there is no shortcut to becoming a better producer. It's all just about time and how much of yourself you actually put into it. How to be Skrillex? Well, the first step would be to get really good at dubstep. Get super good at it and be very, very talented. And then once you release your Jack U album, do nothing but collabs for the rest of your career. Can you DM me the Spectral Sound, Rockabouts Sound, Seamless R sex tape, please? Wait, a tape? Was Frosty filming? In the song All On Me by Big Gigantic, In the song All On Me by Big Gigantic, how could you replicate that horn or whatever lead melody that is? I know he probably recorded it, but can you replicate it somehow? I know it's not your typical genre, but I thought I'd ask. Well, I've never heard the song, but if it's a horn, really you could just do that using a lot of saw waves. If you turn on a couple oscillators and put a bunch of unison on with a lot of voices, not super detuned, but slightly detuned. Then you could just boost frequencies from around 1K to 5K hertz, and then do a little like volume / low pass filter automation. If you utilize that correctly, you can get a pretty nice brass sound. There is a good example of that in my free pack I gave out for my 500 subscriber special. That's Garbage for Serum. There's some really nice brass in there. I'm also running it through like some multi-band compression and distortion and other stuff. You can take a look at that if you want, it's free. Info about your music production setup. So this is my studio setup. Sorry for the terrible quality. I'm recording on my phone because I don't have any other camera other than this little Logitech guy right there. But I'm gonna make this quick. An advanced studio tour would be a video in itself, so I'll just go over quickly. I got a bigger screen. This is my main screen, TV screen right there. And I got a smaller monitor on the side so I can do like live streams and stuff like that. I could extend FL between both monitors. However, I have to change it around for videos and stuff like that, so I usually just leave it the way it is. This is my keyboard, which is currently not plugged in. It's a Nectar Impact LX49 key. It's a very nice keyboard in my opinion. It hooks up through a USB, so it's very, very easy. All of these can be linked, all these controls right here can be linked to FL very easily. There are many tutorials out there for that. I don't use it all the time, mainly just because I don't have a ton of desk space. Like I have to be reaching over that to reach the keyboard and stuff like that. When I get a bigger desk, I will probably use it more, but when I do use it, it's pretty nice. Got my little trackball mouse here, which I really like. Everybody else thinks it's weird, but it just allows me to control things on my computer without having to actually move my hand, which is very nice. I got these little speakers right here, these high quality studio monitors. You can't even see that one, and a subwoofer down at the bottom there. I don't use these speakers much because my headphones are like so much better. I have a pair of Sennheiser 280 HD Pros, which are a very good pair of headphones. I had these recommended, and for how good they are, they're surprisingly inexpensive. Like you can mix and master on these headphones, at least I do. Here's what everybody is wondering about my computer. This is a cyber-powered PC. It's a gaming ultra desktop. It's got an AMD FX 6300. That's 3.7 or 3.9. I forget. One of those processor speed. It has some cool light show in there. I don't know most of the specs offhand. However, it works very well for what I do. Like, it's a gaming PC. CyberPower makes some really nice stuff. And it's just overall, it's a very, very good computer. I'm very happy with it. I got this typing keyboard like with the computer as well. It's both CyberPower. It's a pretty okay keyboard. It's not great. You can see the letters are coming off, but it works for what I do. And then lastly, the most important part, my little music guys up here. This is my little metal band. Got him! Got him! Oh, and lastly, the fan. This is a very nice fan, and not just because it's a cool fan, but also it's a freaking clock. How cool is that? You should take a typography course and make the ominous space style. I love how there's like the heart in the middle. It's like, geez bro, get a better logo. As for the ominous space style, I have no idea who that is, so again, possibly. We need more sound design recreations like Sultan, Zomboy, and much more. Every Serum tutorial I put out so far has been a sound design recreation. I'm going through them. I'm sorry they are not as frequent as they have been in the past. Again, I just have a lot of things going on right now. School is getting really heavy at the end of the year, and it's just a rough time keeping up with all of it. And it's just so much easier to do live streams because you can go in and just press stream, then immediately like talk to people and everything, and it uploads afterward. No, setting up of like recording and stuff involved. There's no editing needed, no, complicated, nothing crazy there. It's very, very simple, and it can just be done, which is why I've been doing it. But hopefully once summer vacation comes around for me, I will have a lot more time and I can get out a lot more sound design videos and recreations. Can you give tips of how to make a dubstep drop? Because I've done my dubstep intro, beginner mode, and I want to do the drop, but it's so hard. All the sound design and stuff like that. Can you give some tips for beginners? By the way, great channel, keep it up. I guess my tip for any beginners is to just listen to artists that give you the most inspiration. Just find all these different kinds of artists, listen to a ton of music, and listen to it analytically, not just for recreation. Like, listen to how they lay out their basses, how the basses kind of flow and connect, what they did to do that. Pay attention to like the mixing of the drums and stuff. And just overall, just kind of analyze what they did and break it down in your head as you're listening to it. That is one of the best ways to train your ear and just become better at production in general. Can you do a tutorial of a vocal dubstep yoi sound? I don't know how this works in Serum. This is how you make a yoi in Serum. Favorite dubstep artists and favorite dubstep song at the moment. As I've said earlier, my favorite dubstep artist is Virtual Riot. I guess it will just always be Virtual Riot. It's been that way for so long. He's a super amazing producer. Phase 1 is super awesome. I love his stuff, along with like Barely Alive, and there's so many good artists out there. I don't think I could just choose a few. As for my favorite song right now, it's definitely my favorite dubstep song is probably Impressions by Curious Control. That's Control with a K. It's not a new song. It's been out for a long time and it never really got popular, and neither really did Curious Control. Like, there's a good amount of people who've heard of him, but he's just not a really famous artist. However, he's super talented in my opinion. I just really love that song. I don't know why. I like the vocals in there, the stuff he did with the, vocal processing, and the way he had that bass pounding in the background. It's awesome to me. Will you answer this comment though? Nah, I don't really like to answer comments. What is your opinion on Deathstep? If you like it, what is your favorite Deathstep artist? I am perfectly down with Deathstep. I think Deathstep is really cool. It's like metal and dubstep combined, and I like both of those genres. I don't listen to it a ton and I don't make it a lot, but I still like it. As for my favorite Deathstep artist, I guess I would have to say Excision, if you can count Excision as death step. I know there are going to be some people who are like, oh, Excision doesn't make death step. But I've heard some songs by him that I would consider to be death step, and they're awesome. If I would send you a zip file from my drop, will you repair it? It sucks, but some feedback is needed. Now this is interesting. I've seen some things where like guys look at project files from other people and they're like editing them and changing some stuff around. And that's not something that I think I would do, first of all, because I have like, there are so few plugins. I have very minimal equipment that there's so many things that I don't have that a lot of other people do have. And most likely you'll send me your project file and I can't open it because I don't have half the like external effects and stuff you do. I don't even have OTT. Like my computer, because of its like virus protection software, it won't keep stuff like OTT or whatever, Camel Crusher, on my computer because it's like a free download and there's stuff that's all weird about the code. I've tried to override it, but it doesn't want to work. It just messes things up. So there's plugins like that I just don't have. Now, if you bounce it and like show me your actual song, like through SoundCloud or something, then I can definitely critique it and give you some like thoughts and ideas and stuff. I can't go in and edit your project. However, I can tell you what you can't do. I don't necessarily need to see your project file. Ever thought of making a melodic dubstep from scratch series / live streams? If yes, please do so. I think that is something I will probably do in the future. It just depends on when I'm in the melodic dubstep mood. Like I've made melodic dubstep before and it's turned out really well. It's worked out very, very good. However, making music just really depends on what mood I'm in. Like right now, and especially recently, I've been into the old, dubstep headbanger mood. And then there was a while where I went through like just all this melodic. I was just doing melodic track after melodic track. I was doing so much of it. And then there are times when I just want to make trap. And there are other times when I just want to do hard style. It just really depends on what mood I'm in at the time. So when I'm in that mood, then probably yes, at some point. Do you accept requests now? I'm afraid I do not accept requests at the moment because I have so many already on my computer. Once I get done with those, I'm hoping to finish the list completely during the summer. Some point during the summer, I just want to get done with that list of like 40 sounds to make. And to be honest, it doesn't take me long to make the sounds. Like I have 2 sounds already created and the project files already ready to record. Like I just have to find time to record them and edit them and upload them. That takes a while. Like it takes a lot longer than you think it would. So that's why it's been very slow doing these recreations. It's not that it's hard to make the sound, it's just time to get it up. So not now, but at some point probably, and in a different form than just like a comment. What faux you think about rhythm? First of all, love the hair dude, rocking it. And I like rhythm. I think rhythm is great. It's great headbanging music. I've listened to a lot of rhythm. I don't make rhythm too much just because I'm not that good at it. I just have to learn more about it and learn exactly how it works and just do a little more research and get better at it. Rhythm is very cool though. Notice me, senpai, smiley face. Finally, someone who addresses me correctly. Thank you. Tips on growing a YouTube channel? Question mark? I suppose it really just depends on the channel. Like if you're trying to do a sound design tutorial channel like me, then my advice would be to just go about it in a semi-organized way. Like what people like to see someone who knows what they're doing. So if you know what you're doing, make it look like you know what you're doing as well. Instead of just like hitting record and being like, okay, we're recording. Hey everyone, it's time to make a sound. Let's make this sound right here. Yeah, that's cool. Let's hear that. This is how I did it. You turn this knob like this. It's somewhere around 9 o'clock. And then you can put that fader up and you should get this sound. All right, thank you for watching. I will see you guys later. Just give yourself a name, give yourself a nice intro, and show passion for what you're doing. People like to see someone who likes what they're doing along with knows what they're doing. So if you show passion and knowledge in your field, people will listen and people like you will subscribe. What is your favorite main electronic genre and subgenre in that main genre? Explain. My favorite electronic genre is definitely dubstep. My favorite subgenre, I'm probably gonna have to just go with brostep for this one because there's a lot of different kinds of dubstep. And like I said, it really depends on what kind of mood I'm in, because there will be times when I listen to melodic dubstep. Like all the time I have a whole melodic dubstep playlist. Then I have like just a heavy dubstep playlist. And then I got rhythm playlist and stuff that I'll listen to. It really just depends on what mood I am, but I'm just gonna have to say brostep for this one. How long have you been producing? You seem to know an assload about sound design, mixing, and arrangement. I've been producing for almost 4 years. I got FL Studio when I was like 13, and I'm 16 now, soon to be 17. But I didn't get serious into production until about like a year and a half to 2 years ago. The first year was basically just me playing around like, oh, this is awesome. Open up all these Harmor presets. Yeah, I'm making dubstep. That was basically me for the longest time. I had a total of this much skill. And I wasn't really serious. I didn't even have that much tech either. Like I just had the demo version of FL and a laptop. So if you really put the time and the effort into it, it doesn't take too long to get good. You can get really good in a couple of years if you really focus on what you need to focus on. My advice would be to pitch it down, mess around with the formant in the settings in like Edison, and put ring modulation on it. Ring modulation is a very cool technique you can use to get vocals like All's Fair in Love and Brostep and Ragabomb and stuff like that. It can be pretty cool on those kind of vocals. Seamless has done tutorials about that. I would suggest to look into his tutorials, specifically the 75K tutorials, for more information about that. What is your biggest inspiration for music? I don't think I can really pinpoint my inspiration to one source. I think just all my music is kind of like the spread of everything I've heard and taking like all the different dubstep and all sounds that I've heard and combining it with myself, my style of music, and putting it all together into one form. I don't think I can pinpoint my main source of inspiration. If I had to say my biggest source of inspiration, it'd probably be Virtual Riot. Who saw that coming? Hi, so I see your Make Dubstep Skull is awesome. Soon I release my first album, Invasion EP. So your album is Invasion EP. So I make music with FL Studio too. Did you accept my collab request in future? Of course, first I give you to listen my Dubstep Skulls. I'm gonna say the same thing I did with the other person. It's a possibility, and yes, I'd have to like listen to your music and hear what you got, see if we can like put together a collab. It's a possibility in the future, at some point maybe. Like I'm not turning down any collab requests as of right now, but I'm not accepting any either because I don't know what time is gonna bring, really. Collab, bro? Yes, he finally asked to collab with me. Harambe's, yes, I will collab with you. If you don't have any plugins, I'll give you FL Studio, I'll give you Serum, I'll give you all of my stuff just so we can collab. I've wanted to collab with you for so long. JK, but keep up good work. That's the stuff that will let you grow even more. Hi, I really love your music and it has inspired me a lot. If you are reading this, please tell me when you are releasing Obsidian. Obsidian, yes, that is the track that I've been like hinting on this channel for a while. It's ready for release. Like I have it all ready and set up for release at any time. I have like the cover art made, it's all set. I'm just looking for some kind of promotion. I'm sending it to like labels big and small because this is something that's a track that I'm really proud of. And that's something that I don't want to be just like, oh yeah, here's this is something I made, it's cool. I'm looking for some kind of promotion. Like I said, I sent it to like a bunch of different labels, not just going for like big ones that like nobody gets into. Just like any other kind of promotion out there. Anyone who would like to promote it that I can actually get extra promotion from other than myself. So hopefully sometime soon if I get a response from any of those labels. What do you think about Getter copying Panda Eyes? That's the Getter Rip and Dip and Panda Eyes Artificial second drop. I listened to those two songs beside each other and I do not think they're stolen. I do not think Getter stole it from Panda Eyes. Yeah, they have some similar aspects. However, I don't think that Getter listened to that song and is like, oh, let's make a song like that. I just think that they just happen to be very similar. What age were you when you started and what age are you now? If you mean just music production in general, then I started producing when I was 13 and I'm 16 now. If you mean started YouTube, I started YouTube when I was 16 and I'm 16. So it hasn't even been a year yet and we're already at 2000, jeez. This is crazy, guys. What the frick? All right, that wraps up this reading your comments. Thank you everyone who commented. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I really enjoyed this. I like seeing what you guys have to say about, you know, just my channel or just music production in general. I like to hear about it and I like to give my input. Leave a like if you want to see me do this again in the future, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.